as both teams made their way out of the tunnel, these folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Jets and the Arizona Cardinals. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the twist.
Second down, Murray sets to throw. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
12. Mike, 12. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Say. 64. Wait.
Here's Murray. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And a give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. And he will find his man on the outside. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Watch number 5.
On first down, Miles. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Darnold. He's got his man. It's Andrew. The first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 35.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys didn't come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
That's what I do. Check. Fresno.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a 2nd time. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. The shotgun snap for Darnold. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, you know, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
Now he lets it go deep for Kirk, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
All day, dog.
Murray now on first down. This one caught by Isabella. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Murray now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Set, hut, Hey, go, go.
Check back, check back.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Let's go, let's go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Watch the slant, watch the slant. Here we go. 56, check 56.
Play action. It's Darnold. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A play fake, and it's Darnold. On the crossing route, complete. It's Andrews. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll come up now with a clock showing 3 seconds to go here in the first. 2nd down and 10, Darnold. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Davante Adams, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for first down.
Mike 9. Mike 9. Here it comes. Here it comes. 25. Check 25. 81. Go.
On first and 10, here's Murray. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10.
All day, every day, any day.
Murray again, second and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's third and 3. Murray going to try to throw on third down. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Here's Elliott. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal.
Brings up third and goal.
Let's go. 6 yards. Hey, 60 ball. Match back. Right. 6 guys. Check it out.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, so no help there. And now fourth and goal. This situation in the fourth quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in, announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
39 yards there, a big one.
First down.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
Darnold from the gun. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Cardinals 13.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Hey, team 6, team 6.
Here's Darnold. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. Past the 20. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
You mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point right. It's a 6-point game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Darnold now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. From the 50, it's Darnold. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Darnold on 3rd down, and this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. 95 yards. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
We own them.
Darnold now to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
To try again after the sack. Darnold. His throw incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check 56. I'm on.
Mike 56. Mike 56.
Right. 56. Mike 56. Right there. 56.
Yeah, lady. D-line, get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that touch.
Here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene.
And got his man, complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella, as the first half is winding down. And the Cardinals push further out in front.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been there. Unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
56 to Mike, boys. 56.
Now it's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals push further out in front. The extra point up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you.
To throw is Darnold. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Darnold. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're going to go. It's Darnold. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
Yeah, deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Oh, lady. Here we go.
Again, Darnold. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
This will be play number 7 on the drive, 3rd and a yard.
95, Mike, 195.
Off of play action, Darnold. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
On fourth down, Darnold. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 21 yards there. A big play on fourth down. Darnold now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Back to throw, Darnold. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more time.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. From 6 yards away. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. The extra point up and good. And that will get them one closer. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They won more. Here comes an onside kick. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They won more. Here comes an onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Hey, no more. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the buses.
They'll run with Elliott. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing on first down is Murray. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th.
Check, 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 check. Mike 12, Mike 12. Don't take. Watch the screen. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist. Oh. Check, check.
On 3rd down, Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. He's at the 40. Pass
past the 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Extra point safely through. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Cardinals hands team able to secure the football. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
It fights him, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On the counter, Elliott. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Completes it to Fitzgerald. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10.
You got 3 down. Check Mike 12. Mike 12, Mike. Hey.
1st down, Murray. And it's caught. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Christian Kirk, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass, so you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Murray now on 1st down. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. He's at the 50. He's at the 30.
And it's a touchdown for the Jets. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football.
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They go to Elliott again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down.
Hey, watch the leg.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he's got Fitzgerald. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 22-yard line. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Tim carry now for Elliott. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game. So hold on here, not done in the 4th. So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. It's caught here by Adams. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 12. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
He's going to let this one go deep. He's got it at the 15. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Andy Isabella, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Cardinals push further out in front. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 1.
At their own 35-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
We play to win. Let's go.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
56, right there, 56.
A first down throw, Darnold. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 13. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Let's go. Big ass, big extreme.
On 2nd down, Elliott with a juke. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cardinals, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.